if everybody was taught the right things to do the right things. This is the cool thing about America, and the negative thing at the same time is, you got to have the yin and yang. Is the good thing is you have freedom of choice, and you can decide what you learn. You can decide how you use that knowledge, and you can decide, what you're going to do with your time. And you also can decide what not to do and how to do it another way. So at the end of the day, it's like you could teach people financial literacy and all that type of stuff, but it doesn't mean they're going to use it, and it doesn't mean they're going to care. You know what I mean? So it's really like you have the ultimate willpower to decide what you do with your money, your time, your life, all of those type of things. So I just feel like it's not designed that way, because if everybody knew the game, then who can win the game? Somebody's trying to win. And if we teach everybody the exact game, then how do we win?
What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to From the Script, a platform for my authors, my scribers, my TV, film, and songwriters. This is where they're able to come on the platform, peel back the layers of their story, and share so much more about their journey. I am your host, Armourie, and baby, I am delighted to be here with you all today. Before we dive into today's episode, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe this content and share it with someone who you think that needs to hear this, okay? I had to take a breather. Because you know what? We have an exclusive guest joining us today. Let me run it back. We have an exclusive guest joining us today. Talk about, he is a financial literacy guru, okay? He is a lyrical artist, okay? When I say dropping gems. And he is the founder of Buy Money ENT and so much more. Please help me welcome the one, the only Stockz, better known as Invest in Stockz. How are you?
Good morning. I'm feeling amazing. How you doing?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm glad to have you here.
I'm honored to be here.
You're amazing. I just have to start off and say that. You are amazing, 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 amazing. Please.
Thank you.
You know we got to give the people what they want. Let's peel back some layers. Let us know how you got started on your amazing journey. What was those igniting sparks that brought you to where you are today? And I have to find out the tea about how you even came up with the name.
Well, actually, those kind of tie together. So I got into music at first in high school when I was going to Lamar out here in Houston, Texas. And I went to Lamar High School. I feel like freshman year.
Let's you, girls.
So, I was there, and I was battle rapping. That's kind of how I learned how to, get my name out. And I'm not I wasn't a battle rapper like Murder Mook or nothing like that. I'm not going to give myself that kind of credit. I was just trying to, figure out how to get my voice heard because I wasn't in the studio yet. So I was doing battle rap, stuff like that. Wasn't good at it. And then I had, some big homies that called me Mischief. They tried to give me the name Mischief, and I was like, that's not finna be my name. So everybody called me Milo before that. And then I had woke up one day and turned on TV. Or no, the TV was on. My bad, I ain't turned on, it was on. And then literally it was a business commercial on talking about stocks and bonds. And then I hit one of the homies, his name was Microfiend. And I hit him, I'm like, yo, what you think about stocks? He was like, yep, that's it. And it just never changed from there. It's always my name.
That's different. I love that, especially how you went from Mischief, right? Because mischief that's when you when somebody's mischievous. You was like, that ain't it. That is not it. And then you landed on Stockz, which is very pivotal. It is so unique. When I heard, because I remember you coming on and interviewing with the Poor Horseman. And when I just was finding out about your story, I remember coming to you afterwards. I was like, I got to tap in with you just to understand who you are and the beauty behind your name. Because one thing I love about your music is that you incorporate that financial literacy element in that. So if you don't mind peeling back that layer, what even sparked that to fuel the passion that you have with Stockz in your music?
Honestly, the investing came to the music late. So I was already doing music. I was an artist before any of the investing stuff even became a thought. I was rapping before I was even 18. I couldn't technically invest yet at that time. They didn't have crypto moving like that. So like I got into it like more like when the pandemic started happening. Like I was already into it. I was buying crypto kind of early and stuff, but I just didn't like fully have a grasp on everything. And then by the time the pandemic came and we was like locked in the house, I was in LA during the time. We didn't really have nothing to do. So like I just started getting on the Robinhood app and I was just like buying random coins. Like Dogecoin was just up there. I didn't even know what Dogecoin was, to be honest. I just started buying it with like change off of like my option trades and stuff because I started trying to find ways to get money in the house. So it was, it just started being that. And then I just got deeper and deeper and deeper into it. And then by the end of it, it's like, I ended up like coming up with the concept by money and like, you know, just the things to tie it all together. But it was never really an intention of mine to like make it financial rap or any of that type of stuff. It just kind of started being a lifestyle change for me because I've always rapped about what my life's been about. So it's like it started being more of a, now I'm really into this instead of what I was rapping about before. And if you listen to the music before, you know about what I was rapping about before. And it's like, I wanted to lean into this new lifestyle because I realized like as a kid that went through the emotion of seeing like, oh, I could only be a drug dealer, basketball player, this, that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Those are my examples. And then like I realized, I was like, oh, I could actually make way more money and did doing this versus trying to talk about that and glorify that. I was like, it's just a new space of something that I could glorify that like, you know, the kids could attach to that's more positive.
You hit it right on the nail. Because off candid, I feel like that's what our industry is missing. And I appreciate the artistry that you bring to the table when it comes to rapping about something that the kids can relate to and just be able to have something to look at. Because when you think about a lot of things from the retrospect of what's taking place, and I know they have this term now, industry implants and things of that nature. And it's a real thing, you know. It's a real thing to see how our society can take on something just by what we're listening to and not even realize how that's not only damaging our culture, but the younger generation. So when I come across amazing artists like you, I have to give you your flowers because that is what we're missing in this industry. So, period.
Thank you.
I'm telling y'all, dropping gems. We ain't even in the full episode yet, okay? Ooh, so I'm curious, what is your writing process like? How do you what puts you in the zone? What are the things that you like to steer away from when it comes to being in that mode? Like, well, tell me about that. I always like to find out more information about that.
My creative zone, really, I mean, my best creative zone is when I hit that lick and then, you know, the play went well. Now I'm ready to go make something about it.
Dollar
bill.
You
feel me? But like outside of that, like writing process, usually I'm in the studio with my producers and they'll make beats on the spot and I kind of just like kick it while they make beats until like something just hit my ear and I'm like, oh yeah, I got something for this. And I don't really like write down stuff anymore as much. Like I go in the booth and I like kind of just like scat, you know what I mean? Like I'll just kind of like mumble certain melodies and stuff like that. And then we'll find stuff that I like and then I'll go back in and fill in words from there. So it's like that's how I like try to make sure I keep the feeling and still get my point across the way I'm like, you know, word-wise, I'm giving you what I'm trying to say, but like feeling-wise, I'm giving the natural feeling of it. So that's like how I do that. The only thing I really don't like in the studio is like, I'm not a person that like being in the studio with hella people because I don't like too much talking. I hate to say it like that. Like people, and sometimes it's good. Sometimes people say something and it changes the whole game of the song, but like most of the time it just becomes a distraction. And like, I'm not one of the people that's like trying to think that much while it's too much extra conversation. I'm trying to stay real direct to the point of what we're making.
I be having to like hold myself back from all of my like antics when I'm responding because you hit a lot of great points. Excuse me. You said that you like to eliminate the distractions and stay locked in, especially when it comes to writing. And I love your methodology behind putting it together because we want to feel. People don't realize that when you listen to music, you feel. You have to understand like what that artist is speaking about it's connecting the dots to something else down the line. And I want to even just kind of like peel back another layer. How important is it to eliminate distractions, even when, not even necessarily when you're in the studio, but when you're focused on your purpose, on your mission, and staying in the zone? How important is that?
Removing distractions might be the most important thing, because we all are, like, as humans, we all are pretty easily influenced. You know what I mean? Especially if, like, you got people around you that you love and respect, like, you're going to be a little more influenced by them. And typically in the studio, we're going to have people that I love and respect in the studio. So I try to keep it to where it's like, if it's anybody that is there, I try to make sure they're not a distraction. There's somebody that's toward the mission. So it's like, you can be distracted positively. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want people to talk in the studio unless there's somebody that talk about the topic, or they might have some input to give to that. So that might, like, you know, kind of distract me into the point. You get what I'm saying? Like, it might help me find a way. But a lot of times, yeah, it's like you have to, like, isolate to elevate, they say.
Is a given quote. You have to isolate to elevate. That's power in isolation. Seriously. Facts. Wow. That's so pivotal. So I'm still stuck on the fact that I love the fact that you did a dynamic switch with what it was that you were speaking about within your songs. What has been the most, and let me know if I'm stepping on any toes when I ask this, because I love the fact that, you know, you have, you know, invest in stocks. What has been your most lucrative investment that you've made so far that you can say, like, yeah, I did that?
I won't say a number, but I think my favorite investment that I did was all of my NFT investments, because it was the smallest input and the largest output. You know what I mean? And, like, when I bought, like, mutant apes and, like, bored apes, the whole ecosystem just created a lot of different money over the time period off of that one investment. So I think that's, like, my favorite. Because I like to look for, like, small money turn to big money. Because I feel like once you have big money, it's not as hard to turn your money up. It's just kind of like you just look for smaller gains and just have the big money. You know what I mean? But when you go from nothing to something, it's a more, I don't know the word to call it. It's exciting.
Yeah, like invigorating. Yeah,
I like invigorating. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Dang. So from an educational standpoint, for those who don't know what an NFT is, what is an NFT?
It is a non-fungible token. So there's many different NFTs, but that's the definition. You have music NFTs, you have photo NFTs. I've seen people sell homes as NFTs. It's, for me, my favorite use case scenario on NFTs is certification. It's kind of like when you go buy a Rolex, you get the box and papers and, like, you know, the little serial number, you know, it's, like, legit. That's what an NFT is to me. Like, I would rather, like, go to the Rolex store, buy a Rolex, and then they give me the NFT with the Rolex that certifies verified ownership that says it's legit. That's kind of what I look to NFTs for, and, like, what I hope to see of them in the future. You know what I mean? It's more like just verification stamp. Like, if I have, like, physical art on my wall, let's say I went and bought a Picasso, I'd love to have the NFT that certifies it Picasso, and I can put that on the wall with it. You get what I'm saying? That's one of the things for me that I like about it.
I love that. I need to peel back another layer on that and find out more, because that's a great investment tool. That's deep. This episode of From the Script is brought to you by the Creators Guild HTX. Please be sure to tap in with them. They are the one-stop shop for podcasting, production, and so much more. If you are looking to book your next session, please visit theguildhtx.com and just tap in with them. You never know what visions you're able to bring to life with them. So let's get it. One question that came in from the chat, and they were referencing the different dynamics in the culture and the music. And I wanted to ask this because it's a very pivotal question. It says, do you feel like hip hop in the past has damaged the way the culture view, spend, and understand money and finances?
I do feel like hip hop was engineered by the people cutting the checks to influence us to do certain things with the black dollar that we don't necessarily need to do. But I also do think that those same things are what give our culture its oomph to a degree. So it's finding the balance on it. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, hip hop especially is the only thing in the world that teach people how to walk, talk, dress. Like, it's given every aspect of living your life as a full lifestyle influence. You know what I mean? So I think it's a beautiful thing in that sense, but I also think we do have to do some reworking to balance the playing field and find a way for us to do some things that are a little more important to our long-term benefit. Because I feel like we do get like used to promote the negativity. And you know, if you go to the studio, if you sign to a major label, they have A&Rs and people that come in the studio and got like little, you know, like a little brief sheet, like you need to write about these things, talk about this, that. It's an agenda, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's like I could sit here and act like I don't know that it's an agenda, but it is, and that's part of why I decided to switch my subject matter to be something that I feel like, you know, the kids could benefit off of, because I don't have a label in my ear. I'm the label.
I don't have a label in my ear. I am the label. Quote it, which leads me to one of my questions. You are the founder of Buy Money ENT.
Absolutely.
How important, I didn't want to say the word important. Tell us about that journey, because of the fact that you don't have a label in your ear. You have full autonomy to do what it is that you want to do, how you want to do it, what you want to write. And the fact that you even mentioned that A&Rs come into the studio and give a brief of what you should rap about, it just seems so unauthentic. So can we talk about just Buy Money ENT, the spark behind that, and the benefits that you've been able to balance out thus far?
Well, Buy Money, for me, like before I even thought of it to be like a label, it was more just like a concept and a saying, like a, you know, just a mantra. Like I wanted people to understand, like literally just buy money. Like it was a hint, you know what I mean? And like it became a label just through the just because it became a label, I guess. But like before that, I was at Rock Nation, and I remember my homie Law Parker, he had told me, like, before we had parted ways at Rock and stuff, he was just like, man, you got to focus on like the people around you and like the team around you, the people like that's there day to day, and how to build that up. And I took that advice, because before that I didn't have like a imprint that I used or whatever. And then from there, that's where we started building the team and doing those things. And since then, we've like distributed for over 40 artists. We got a bunch of syncs, syncs is like getting songs on TV, like ESPN, First Take, NBA. I think we did some stuff with like wanted cognacs. It's like a bunch of stuff. We even got like a few different things going for the artists that we work with and stuff. So it's like, it's been cool, you know. But ultimately, like one of my main things at Buy Money is like teaching the artists that are like attached to it business things, more so like how to make sure you're actually collecting your bread, how to make sure, you know, you got your ASCAP, BMI, publishing, all that type of stuff, like sound exchange, making sure that you know how to do split sheets, get you a lawyer, get, like, you know what I'm saying, like understanding those things, how to do your taxes, you know what I'm saying, like, because we have those divisions as well, you know what I'm saying. I work with a company called Tax Brainiacs, and we get people over there to do taxes, business setups, incorporation, stuff like that. So it's like looking at it that way to try to help people get to that, because I'm not here to take from, I'm here to like build with you.
You unraveling so much that's so key. Y'all just don't understand. Y'all don't understand the power behind everything that you said. Understanding, like, to be able to teach the artist business. Because just like, not to compare it to athletes or anything of that nature, but, you know, sometimes when athletes get a big check or they get so many different things, they splurge. And even going back to the point of how they've conditioned us to devalue the black dollar or even just misuse the dollar, it's just unfortunate, because I think that sometimes artists go through that same thing as well. You know, especially when it comes with being with a label, they'll give you a lot of money, but they don't show you those little particulars of what's taking place. And it's funny because I watch what is it called? Could Have Been Records. And it's funny. It's a parody, but it's showing how, what is the word I'm trying to look for? It's showing how the industry low key is.
How it really go.
Yeah, seriously. Really go. And it's just sad because they don't put certain things in place for other people, for the artists to thrive, or they don't set certain things up, and we wonder what happened to this artist.
Well, I do want to say, because I understand both sides of the coin.
Okay, same here.
They are putting artists in position to do what they're supposed to do. It's just a lot of times artists don't do what they're supposed to do to make it make sense. But that also comes from a lack of knowledge and understanding and knowing what you should be doing, or even understanding the simple fact that if a label sign you and give you that big advance, that's your money and that's your marketing budget. That's what you got to flip. That's not your bonus. That's not go blow it. You know what I mean? So if somebody gets some paper, like if you loan me $1 million and then I go blow my money and then I get mad at you for not giving me another $1 million and not putting out my next song because the last one didn't do good, the label not really wrong.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
But it's hurtful. It's how we've lost a lot of good artists and certain things. But I think that's just a matter of we got to understand what we dealing with instead of just looking at numbers on a paper and saying, I'll sign. I ain't even going to read it, whatever. Give me that paper. And not understanding what that paper really is supposed to be for.
That's deep, but it's so true. That's so true. Yeah, man. So congratulations for even starting Buy Money ENT and the mission that you have behind it, because it sets a different standard and it helps people understand that there's so much more when it comes to investing and it comes to flipping your money and understanding that you can make it work for you, and not having to work for the dollar all of the time. I hope I'm saying that right. But so that's pivotal. I love that. Who would you say? So you mentioned Rock Nation, which is fire. I also wanted to, they say as seen on TV. I like to say you've been featured on countless platforms, international platforms, national platforms, and just everywhere. How was your experience with Revolt TV? What all did you do there?
I loved my experience with Revolt TV when we shot Meta Money. When we did Meta Money, I was excited about it in general because Revolt wanted to lean into education about crypto, NFTs, stuff like that. So that was just exciting in itself. And then I got the chance to write it out. So I wrote all 2 seasons of it, and we filmed the whole show in 3 shoot days. It was 20 plus episodes. So what it really showed me was how to operate at a higher scale on how to get things done in block time schedule and knock it out. And then the show ran for a whole year straight on TV, and they had it lined up episodes every week, but we shot 3 times. So it was I'm doing 10 episodes a day or something like that. So seeing that and learning that I even had the capacity to work at that level was okay, this is dope. And I've taken it into everything else that I do. So that was amazing. I loved it. I mean, it was my first time technically writing a full TV show that aired on TV and hosting it as well. And we produced it and they edited it for us. We shot it at my studio, Buy Money Studio. And it was cool. Yeah, I think that was a really cool experience for me, working with a team at Revolt and doing all that. Shout out my guy Dunny, shout out JD, shout out Dave. It was good.
As you literally have written your own TV show, you produced it, and you hosted it. That's a top of the line. You write for TV too. You know what I'm saying?
Think about it. It's facts though.
Come on, that's what happens on From the Script. From the Script, we got to touch on all those avenues. Ooh.
Absolutely.
Yes. Ooh, that's deep. That's deep. My mind is just really blown. 100%. You're very intelligent. You can tell that you're passionate about what you do, the mission that you have behind it, and you want to see others win. A lot of people don't have that gift. That's unfortunate. And so to see that you're spreading that means a lot. Means a lot, seriously. I have to always ask, out of all of the songs that you've written, which one would you consider your most lyrical and or one that you're not proud of?
I've never gotten that one. I think I'm gonna start on one I'm not proud of. I don't know. I feel like I'm not unproud of any of my music though. I mean, I might be unproud of certain lines I said and certain things that just don't align with my exact thinking these days. So I can't really call it out to a song. It's just a certain overall mindset during a time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But most lyrical that I'm proud of, I think I have so many songs. It's crazy.
The Rolodex is Rolodex.
Yeah, I'm trying to flip through it in my head. I'm gonna just say the most recent thing that I feel like a verse that I really loved that I wrote was the verse on Chump Change on Not Financial Advice. It's featuring AJ McQueen and Dende, and partially because it was just like a really real sense of a moment in my life where I like took a huge L and it like really like affected me mentally and like emotionally and everything. And then every time I listen to it and I've had people hit me about it and certain things, it just like, it really dug me out of a hole and like gave me I feel like I wasn't writing that. I feel like God wrote that verse for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like I wrote it for whoever's listening, but like I feel like God wrote it out of my hand for me. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like, I don't know, everything I said in there is just very much to the point. Like, if you want to make $1 million, you're going to have to spend 100. Might have to lose it all to see if you really want it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and that was one of the main things in my head. Like, sometimes you really do got to lose it all to see if you really want that and decide to go get it back or decide to do something else. And that's what makes the difference in people.
Let me tell you, I want to say I experienced something like that 2 years ago where everything was just depleted, like every single thing. So thank you for sharing that and being just transparent, because I was struggling in that area, you know, just thinking I was, and this is right when I was I don't even want to say taking off. This is right when I quit my job working at the news station and I went full entrepreneur mode. I was like, yep, I got this. You know, I was blessed with, you know, just being able to be okay in that time span. And then I had a few clients coming in here and there. And then I failed to plan for the what if nobody shows up? What if my clients fail? Or not my clients fail, excuse me. What if my clients at some random moment just all wanted to discontinue their services for different reasons? And that's exactly what happened. And I literally failed. I felt depleted. I was like, y'all, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, retainers weren't coming in anymore. And I'm just like, am I supposed to do this? Like, what's going on right now? So sometimes, like you said, all the times, like you said, when you lose something, it just ignites another flame in you to see how bad do you want it. Are you going to stick through it? Are you going to keep pushing? So that's very key. And I love the fact that you said that it's like God wrote for you. I love how we are instruments and God is the orchestrator, and he's pouring into us what we need to pour out to individuals who may need to, you know, to hear that.
Absolutely. It's definitely a difference in the studio. Like, when I know that I wrote it, and when I feel like God wrote it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's certain songs that I wrote, and I'm like, I remember putting this together. And then there's like those moments where I'm like, I don't even know where that came from. It just flowed out of me. You know what I mean? That's exactly what Chump Change was for me.
Wow.
But I feel you. You definitely have to go through those times. I think you call it, breakthrough tension. You know what I mean? It's when you got to really just walk by faith, not by sight, and just, you know, have trust and just know that what you're doing is the right thing.
You're going to have me running around in a second, okay? Because that sign says pray, wait, and trust. That I love leaning into that. Wow. That's powerful. That's powerful. So on the topic of Not Financial Advice, you just recently wrapped up the Not Financial Advice tour. Tell us about that. What were your highlights? What was your favorite city? Give us the details.
Ooh, Not Financial Advice tour, because, well, it was amazing, first off. Let me say that. But because it was my first time touring as a headlining artist, it was independently put on by me and Buy Money and Flight Concerts. Like, me and the company did it ourselves. We funded ourselves. Like, we did all that. So it was indeed a tough time. You know what I'm saying? And it was a big learning curve. But I'm so happy we went through the learning curve, and it taught us so much as a team. It brought us closer together as a team. And it just showed me what was available to me in the world that I might have had doubts on myself. You know what I mean? So it was great. And I can't lie, Houston was my favorite show.
Shout out to the Hey.
Because it was my birthday and it was hometown. You know what I mean? Like my mom's was there. She got on stage with a cake and like talked to people. I was like, Moms, you on stage talking? That's crazy. And like, you know, the homie Nine ran the stage, incredible. Like everybody was just doing their shit so well. You know what I mean? And it was just nice. I never did a show where I'm like changing clothes 4 times on like in between songs. And like it was just an overall new experience all the way together. You know what I mean? So I think that might have been it. We had a lot of guests come out. Like homie Guap Dad came out from California to perform. You know, AJ McQueen popped out with me. You know, homie Craig, Dallas. Man, like that was just on my set. Like the openers were amazing. Shout out to Tory, Jiffy Rockets, Andre Everything. Like it was, and Dope Man. And it was like, it was amazing. Like it was one of my favorite shows of my life personally, just at that point. But outside of that, I'm gonna have to give second place to Rolling Loud Thailand. Because it helped me find a new love in life. Like I found the love for Thailand and I never knew that I would love it so much. But yeah, that was an incredible experience. Shout out to homie DJ 5 Venoms.
I'm vanilla, baby. I'll choke you, but I ain't no killer, baby. She 28 telling me I'm still a baby. I get love in Detroit like...
The most recent thing that I feel like a verse that I really loved that I wrote was the verse on Chump Change on Not Financial Advice. It's featuring AJ McQueen and Dende. And partially because it was just like a really real sense of a moment in my life where I like took a huge L and it like really like affected me mentally and like emotionally and everything. And then every time I listen to it and I've had people hit me about it and certain things, it just like, it really dug me out of a hole and like gave me I feel like I wasn't writing that. I feel like God wrote that verse for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like I wrote it for whoever's listening, but like I feel like God wrote it out of my hand for me. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like, I don't know, everything I said in there is just very much to the point. Like if you want to make $1 million, you're going to have to spend 100. Might have to lose it all to see if you really want it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and that was one of the main things in my head. Like sometimes you really do got to lose it all to see if you really want that and decide to go get it back or decide to do something else. And that's what makes the difference in people.
Let me tell you, I want to say I experienced something like that 2 years ago where everything was just depleted, like every single thing. So thank you for sharing that and being just transparent, because I was struggling in that area, you know, just thinking I was, and this is right when I was I don't even want to say taking off. This is right when I quit my job working at the news station and I went full entrepreneur mode. I was like, yep, I got this. You know, I was blessed with, you know, just being able to be okay in that time span. And then I had a few clients coming in here and there. And then I failed to plan for the what if nobody shows up? What if my clients fail? Or not my clients fail, excuse me. What if my clients at some random moment just all wanted to discontinue their services for different reasons? And that's exactly what happened. And I literally failed. I felt depleted. I was like, y'all, I don't know what's going to happen. Like retainers weren't coming in anymore. And I'm just like, am I supposed to do this? Like, what's going on right now? So sometimes, like you said, all the times, like you said, when you lose something, it just ignites another flame in you to see how bad do you want it. Are you going to stick through it? Are you going to keep pushing? So that's very key. And I love the fact that you said that it's like God wrote for you. I love how we are instruments and God is the orchestrator, and he's pouring into us what we need to pour out to individuals who may need to, you know, to hear that.
Absolutely. It's definitely a difference in the studio. Like when I know that I wrote it, and when I feel like God wrote it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's certain songs that I wrote and I'm like, I remember putting this together. And then there's like those moments where I'm like, I don't even know where that came from. It just flowed out of me. You know what I mean? That's exactly what Chump Change was for me.
Wow.
But I feel you. You definitely have to go through those times. I think you call it breakthrough tension. You know what I mean? When you gotta really just walk by faith, not by sight, and just, you know, have trust. and just know that what you're doing is the right thing.
You're going to have me running around in a second, okay? Because that sign says pray, wait, and trust. That I love leaning into that. Wow. That's powerful. That's powerful. So on the topic of not financial advice, you just recently wrapped up the Not Financial Advice Tour. Tell us about that. What were your highlights? What was your favorite city? Give us the details.
Whew. Not Financial Advice Tour because, well, it was amazing, first off. Let me say that. But because it was my first time touring as a headlining artist, it was independently put on by me and Buy Money and Flight Concerts. Like, me and the company did it ourselves. We funded ourselves. Like, we did all that. So it was indeed a tough time. You know what I'm saying? It was a big learning curve. But I'm so happy we went through the learning curve, and it taught us so much as a team. It brought us closer together as a team. And it just showed me what was available to me in the world that I might have had doubts on myself. You know what I mean? So it was great, and I can't lie. Houston was my favorite show.
Shout out to that.
Because it was my birthday and it was hometown. You know what I mean? Like, my mom's was there. She got on stage with a cake and talked to people. I was like, "Moms, you on stage talking? That's crazy." And like, you know, the homie Nine ran the stage, incredible. Like, everybody was just doing their shit so well. You know what I mean? And it was just nice. I never did a show where I'm like changing clothes 4 times on like in between songs. And like, it was just an overall new experience all the way together. You know what I mean? So I think that might have been it. We had a lot of guests come out. Like, homie Guap Dad came out from California to perform. You know, AJ McQueen popped out with me. You know, homie Craig, Dallas. Man, like that was just on my set. Like, the openers were amazing. Shout out to Tory, Jiffy Rockets, Andre Everything. Like, it was, and Dope Man. And it was like, it was amazing. Like, it was one of my favorite shows of my life, personally, just at that point. But outside of that, I'm gonna have to give second place to Rolling Loud Thailand. Because it helped me find a new love in life. Like, I found the love for Thailand, and I never knew that I would love it so much. But yeah, that was an incredible experience. Shout out to homie DJ 5 Venoms.
Come on, shout out to Nine too for holding it down. Wow.
Big shout out to Nine. Brother Nine know what's up.
Brother Nine always fall in line.
You don't fall in line, you keep it in line.
Come on, Brother Nine, keep it in line. I love that. Y'all, Rolling Loud Thailand. Now you done opened up another can of worms.
We could talk Thailand.
Let's talk Thailand. Let's talk it, please. I got the bamboo in the bag, but it ain't the real bamboo. But you know, we got, okay, sorry. They didn't know. They will never know. They will never know. Thailand, talk about that experience.
I just loved it, for one, because, like, I remember I had a moment with my moms when I was in Thailand. Like, I texted her, I was like, I'm really all the way in Thailand off rapping. Like, and we just both had the moment. She was like, yep, you are. Because at the time, I was really just like, really, you know, having problems in my head about stuff, like just, you know, overthinking stuff. And it was just like, to take the simple moment and have that gratitude in itself was something. And then, like, I really just loved the place. Like, I loved the people. People were really nice. Food was really good. Everything was cheap. And we was rich as hell out there. You know what I'm saying? We do okay in America, but over there, it made me realize America be lying to us. There's stuff we can go do. And then, like, I don't know, it was like, we was out there, like, whole group trip. Like, I went to Pattaya and I went to Bangkok. I just got to spend time in Thailand and really check it out. Like, everything was just really cool. Linked up with, like, a lot of the homies that rap out there, like the Zavia gang. Shout out to homie Goo. I don't know how to say his whole name, but Goo. Young Goo. And, yeah, like, everybody just showed me a lot of love out there. It felt like I was at home.
That's amazing whenever you go to places and you feel right at home. That's just the beauty of just connecting. So I'm excited.
And I got to give shout out to another H-Town player, the homie Dice Soho. He was out there in Thailand with me too. We both performed Rolling Loud, and I was mobbing around with him, and that was cool to see because we both from Houston. I remember, like, doing showcases with him a long time ago.
Wow.
So to see us both graduate to the point where we all the way in Thailand off music, it was just incredible, you know what I mean? So that was a cool, like, situation in my head too over there.
Talk about full circle moment.
Absolutely.
Full circle moment. That's pivotal, especially just speaking to that. It just makes me think about how it's important to be mindful of the camp that you have, the team, people. Everyone is not always for you, and being able to decipher who is for you and who's not, that will eliminate a lot of stress.
Isolation make the elevation.
Dropping gems. Speaking of dropping gems, this chat is going really crazy right now. I'm like, I see questions like, bing, 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 bing. Oh my goodness. Okay. Wow. Huh. This is unique. This says you have a pie chart totaling 100% with 5 categories: talent, relationships, work ethic, popularity, and money. What percentages would you say it takes to really thrive in the music industry business? And examples are 5% talent, 30% relationships, 20% work ethic. What will be your breakdowns?
I think this pie chart is different for everybody. So I'm going to give my pie chart.
Yes, your pie chart.
So talent, I'm going to say I'm like 30% talent, okay? I feel like I got to where I am off dedication. So what was the next one? Talent and...
Relationships,
I'm going to get at 30% as well, just because that everything comes from relationships at the end of the day. How you talk to people, how you move around, how you handle the world around you makes your outcomes. And then money, for me, it was 10% because I never had a budget from a label. I've never been signed. I've never had a big homie front me no money. I never got none of that type of stuff. So it was always out my pocket the whole time, and I didn't have that much money to be doing any of the stuff I was doing. So, and people think I'm signed to a major, and it's out my pocket. So I'm going to give that 10%. And that's put us at, what, 70? What was the other 2 categories?
popularity, and work ethic.
Let's split them in half. 15-15.
I love that.
I mean,
Wow.
popularity low-key going to take a little more, but for me personally, I'm like, I don't think that's always been the thing.
I love that. I love that breakdown. Shout out to y'all who asked that question, because that was pretty. I love that.
That was a great
Right?
question.
I like
Good
that.
investment right there.
Right? Let's grab one more from the chat, and then we're going to make a quick transition. It's interesting. As a creative influencer, what are your thoughts when you hear about the potential ban of TikTok, and does it affect your business?
I'm biased about the TikTok ban because I don't think it's really going to happen. And I guess by the time this come out, we'll know what happens. But, like, I don't think it's going to happen. I think somebody's going to buy it and it'll be figured out. But if it was to disappear, I think it's very negative for many creatives because a lot of people have found their space on TikTok and have built their, like, you know, accounts and everything. I don't use TikTok enough per se, but like at the same time I do understand the power of it, and I think it's positive if used correctly. Just like it's a tool, you know what I mean? It's like however you ingest it or give to it, it's gonna make your outcome. So I'm a fan of TikTok, but I just feel like that will affect the creator economy a little bit for sure, because it's just a large place and space. I think it's the biggest social network right now in the world, so that takes out a huge chunk of your market.
A huge from even just the target audiences, how we have older generations on TikTok, and then we have the babies on TikTok, the younger generations.
And it's cool because TikTok is made for discovery. You know what I mean? Like,
I like
TikTok is a place where you can put stuff up and find a whole community for you because it's based on discovery. Like, their algorithm works to take you to people looking for you versus like an Instagram or a Twitter or whatever. It's like it's going algorithm off of like who's already there. It's kind of like, that's kind of how I look at it on like a social strategy. It's like use TikTok for discovery stuff. Instagram is more like core, like familiar. Twitter is like really core. Like you really rock with me. You care about what I got to type out and say or whatever. Well, X, my bad, it's X now. And then like, you know, YouTube is like long form content. Like somebody might find me on TikTok, but then they're gonna go to YouTube to like watch a longer interview like what we're doing or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like they look for those type of things from there. So I feel like it's a good starting piece. Like it's still like, let me get your attention to bring you in and talk to you more.
I love that 100%. So now we're gonna make a quick transition to a game that's called Underrated or Overrated. Yeah, I see you getting them. Yeah, we ready.
I like a little game. You know what I mean?
So underrated or overrated is when I'll toss out random categories and you have to let me know your reason why it's underrated or overrated in a matter of 7 seconds.
Okay. 7 seconds. I got you.
I never stick to the time.
Let's do it. I'm trying to lock in.
Okay, bet. Let's do it. Let's see what the first one is. The first one is reading.
Reading. Underrated. If you read, you got to think about the person that, this ain't going to be 7 seconds. If you think about the person that wrote a book, they spent their whole life getting the information that they wrote down into that book, then they spent more time proofreading it and then had somebody else probably go through and edit it. So you're getting probably a whole lot of a person's life and experience that you could read in 2 days, 3 days, or whatever long it take you. But you're getting a lifetime of experience off that one book.
I love that. I love that. That just helped me bring another dynamic to just a perspective of authors.
Absolutely.
I love that. Come on. I love it. The next one, Sexy Red.
Sexy Red. I personally love Sexy Red. I think she's a great rapper. I understand how people feel about Sexy Red, but just like people feel any way about anything, there's a place for everything. And she holds her place very firmly and strongly. And I enjoy the music. I'm grown enough to know what not to do or whatever, but I like the music.
That's interesting.
I really like the music. Shout out to Sexy Red. You can call me. We can get active.
Say it to the camera so she can see it.
Sexy. Call me.
Shout out to you, Khary, in the back. You know, that's Khary favorite. Men going to therapy.
I think it's underrated, but I haven't been to therapy yet.
I love that.
Okay, I'll give my explanation. My bad.
You thought where I was going.
I think therapy is underrated because there's a lot of people that do need it. And I think as men, we grow up, especially black men, we grow up in a space of not having a space to talk about how we feel. So typically we use our emotions in the wrong way, which turns into violence and crime and you know, like anything that puts us in a worse position instead of having a conversation, because we're not afforded that luxury usually to have that space to speak about it. So that's why it's scary to a lot of men too, because it just feels very sneaky and untrustworthy to our heart. You know what I mean? It's like, I can't trust you with this. Like we already feel like that naturally to all open space for our feelings, because it's just not a true existence to us most of the time.
Yeah, I love that perspective, especially helping me see it from a man's perspective. I love that. Thank you. And then the last one, financial literacy.
Financial literacy is absolutely underrated, okay? I think we absolutely all need to dabble in some more financial literacy. The same way we dabbled in math, science, English, history, all that, financial literacy should be one of the main subjects right there with it. But I think it's not by design.
Can we put back another layer? When you say it's not by design, then I'm going to leave you alone, I promise.
It's not by design because if everybody was taught the right things to do the right things, this is the cool thing about America, and the negative thing at the same time is, you know, you got to have the yin and yang. Is the good thing is you have freedom of choice, and you can decide what you learn, you can decide how you use that knowledge, and you can decide, you know, what you're going to do with your time. And you also can decide what not to do and how to do it another way. So at the end of the day, it's like you could teach people financial literacy and all that type of stuff, but it doesn't mean they're going to use it, and it doesn't mean they're going to care. You know what I mean? So it's really like you have the ultimate willpower to decide what you do with your money, your time, your life, all of those type of things. So I just feel like it's not designed that way, because if everybody knew the game, then who can win the game? Somebody's trying to win. And if we teach everybody the exact game, then how do we win?
Dropping gems.
The game is in the open, though. Like, it's not like we hiding the game from you.
Facts.
It's there.
Yeah.
But do you care enough to learn the game? And if you don't care enough, then, you know, it's like I tell people all the time, it's like you can learn how to mount a TV if you go on YouTube real quick, or you're going to spend your money that you worked for to get somebody else that spent the time to learn the skill to come do it. It's the same thing with everything.
Facts. Facts. Okay, literally underrated, overrated. You just killed it. Seriously, I love the points that you shared. Even just helping me have a different perspective with certain things. So thank you for that. I learn something new every day. So thank you for teaching me a lot today. What is next for you? What can we expect coming down the pipeline? Any events? Any upcoming tours? Share the deets, the ones that you feel comfortable with sharing.
Right now, I'm finishing new music. The album title, as of now, I think we're gonna stick to it. But let's just say it's the working title for now is called Non-Negotiables. You know what I mean?
Like
and
that.
It just represents me having to hold all the weight of the world on my back in my world and all the things that I have to do. But regardless of what's going on, this is a list of non-negotiables that I must accomplish and things that I have to do before I can care about anything else. And it's that point in my life right now, just where things are just non-negotiable.
And that, my friends, is how you stand on business, okay? You have to have your non-negotiables. That's deep. Oh, I'm excited for it. Let's get it. Yeah. Please let everybody know into this camera where they can connect with you, how to lock in, and just stay tuned with everything that you have going.
Well, you can tap in with your boy Stockz at Invest in Stockz with a Z on everything. That's YouTube, Twitter, X, Instagram, TikTok, whatever you like to use, I'll be there waiting for you. And if you want to tap in further, I do hold a Discord where we call plays and trades and talk crypto, NFTs, stock market, all that type of stuff, or just any other investment thought you got. You want to tap in with me? Hit me. It's love.
He said it here first. Okay, it's love. Make sure y'all tap in with him. When I tell y'all he's an exclusive guest, And as you can see, the episode, it just embodies all of that. So make sure y'all tap in for sure. So before anything, make sure you're streaming from the script on all digital platforms that are listed below. And don't forget to be bold, don't fold, and come to the fire as gold. We out.
Absolutely.
Love that.